The Deck Network. Build a deck.
Hi, welcome to the Deck Network. I'm your host, Mike Danzilio, and we have our co-host
here, Matt Dalton. Remember, here at the Deck Network, it's all decks all the time.
All right, Matt. First of all, what happened to that poor excuse for a beard?
I lost it.
It's gone?
It's gone. But it could be back in several hours if you want it. Just click like on this video and we'll get it back. We'll put some of that Chia Pet stuff on there.
I heard through the grapevine that you had a mustache for a few days.
It got crazy. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah,
I'm kind of all over the board. The styling team here at the Deck Network, they do a great job. And we're just trying to find a place for me from an appearance standpoint that works for the viewership.
I had a mustache back in the 80s, but I think that went out with Magnum PI.
But some things come full circle. It could be popular again. And then where are you going to be without a mustache? Come on, you need one.
Today's show, we're going to talk about a home show that I did last weekend at the Nassau County Coliseum. But first, let's get to some of the emails. I got more of them. It's going to take us many shows to catch up to all these.
You have to see the back offices here. Literally stacks of emails.
They're
We're just
kind of
sifting through them here.
Okay, we have from Dennis from Raleigh, North Carolina. He was just watching the composite decking,
Hi,
or the
Dennis.
intro to composite decking. He goes, I have learned more from this video than any other. Great job. I wished I lived near you. I would buy from you. Do you have a store in Raleigh, North Carolina? Okay, then what he does do is he must have been bored for a few hours, but he watched a bunch of these shows, and at the end of every one, he made a comment through YouTube.
Which is great. That's engagement,
good,
Mike.
yes.
Dennis is invested in this process. And do we have a store? Does Mr. Big plan on opening anything in North Carolina for our friends?
No. We're
This is that peanut country over there, right? You get some good boiled peanuts.
This is enough for Mike over here.
We'll stay in New York for now.
He was watching the one non-grooved boards, how did you put the fastening on the non-grooved boards, and he said, I missed where you said the price of the Cortex system. You know, sometimes I start to say something, and because Matt, he overpowers me sometimes, I'm not able to say it, and so I lose my train of thought, and so we go on to the next. So, you know, I'm surprised you haven't jumped in with anything.
I was waiting. I didn't want to be the stereotypical jumper-inner there.
Okay. And Matt's like the loose cannon of the Deck Network.
And it actually led to a suspension several weeks back.
Okay.
If you saw that video, that was very poignant.
Just listen, we got a comment about that.
And I don't want to get suspended again. And Mike, you talk.
Okay. Mike,
I listen.
Mike,
for once in my life.
Better pay Matt
I'll
a lot, or he will leave for the Tonight Show. Very funny stuff. See,
I like that guy. Dennis.
Finally getting the recognition.
And what's up with that? Are we going to renegotiate the deal? We got to bring the lawyers and the agents in.
Well,
six-figure type of deal. We got to sit down like LeBron at a YMCA in Connecticut. We'll make the big announcement.
From what I understand,
signing a 3-year deal with the Deck Network exclusively.
Matt has already made his application to be a member of the Screen Actors Guild.
Yep, and we're looking for endorsements. Jack Daniels, call me. We want to get your advertisement here on the show. We'll do some product tie-ins. I'm already using it already.
Okay, back to Dennis from Raleigh. He says, about Matt's suspension. Knowing where you guys live, I feel Matt may be a Met fan. This, in and of itself, is punishment enough for any transgressions.
It's been a very long, painful existence as a Met fan, but yeah, this.
And then the last one, he says, "You are like ESPN for decks." Well, that's really when I designed this whole thing
with Mr. Big, of course.
Yeah, this is what I wanted to be. So then we have another one. Mike and Matt. Great job on the show. It's both educational and entertaining. Now, that's really what we want to be. Because you can have a show that has the greatest information possible, but if it's boring,
what is it?
Or not engaging, people just won't watch it. So we try to have a little bit of fun, and people seem to be...
And there is a lot of exciting stuff going on within the decking industry, and we bring it to light.
Okay, in the show, Fastening for Non-Groove Boards, you mentioned not to use a grooved product that had a groove cut after the board is made. Please explain. Joe from Rhode Island. Now, Joe, I sent it back to him that I was going to answer it on the next show, which is right now.
A video response going down now, Joe from Rhode Island.
All right. This is one of my favorite deckings. Beautiful Gosson decking. They make it without the groove. Then they run a saw sideways or somehow, and they cut the groove into it. And by talking to some of the field reps, they say that if you use this groove board with a clip, there's plenty of clips that fit it, it gets a little soft at 16 inches on center. Okay, so I think about that. And when I look at the board, you're cutting the side of the board. So you're to me, you're compromising the integrity of the board by cutting the groove into it. Now, the next question is, well, isn't there groove boards used all the time? Well, yes, there is. Now, I have two boards here. This is TimberTech, rustic bark, absolutely beautiful. XLM, my favorite line of decking. And this is Trex Tiki Torch. Again, very beautiful, beautiful decking. These two companies comprise over 60% of all the decking sold in the U.S. on the alternative side. They extrude their boards with the groove in it.
So there's no cutting this groove into it.
So when I look at this TimberTech board, it has the groove cut in it, so it has a continuous groove. It almost adds to its strength. It's almost like an I-beam that you see all the different corners. That adds to the strength. Now, when you just saw it, you're losing some of your strength. So this is why, if it's...
Will this lead to issues down the line, Mike?
Who knows? Probably not. It might be a little soft, especially in the summer, because the boards get a little warmer in the summertime. But as I said in the show, and I'll say it again now, if you have a board that you want to use, now, hey, Gosson Decking.
It's a free country. Use whatever board you want.
Beautiful decking. If I was to use this board, I would use either the Camo tool, which Matt knows very well.
Ask me if you have any questions. I'm a
The
expert.
Hit Fast gun, which we've had a video on that one for.
Lay a bunch
or
of
the
decking
Cortex from our great friends at Fasten Master. All excellent products.
Fasten Master.
All excellent, excellent products. You know, they will come. No one will come out and say this except for right here on Deck Network, because we are bound to tell the truth.
That's what it is.
Okay, so
We are just humble correspondents in a crazy world of decking. Good answer to that couple emails. You know what that sound means. Show us your deck. The ratings came out on the last Show Us Your Deck feature that we did through the roof. I'm talking Super Bowl type numbers here. People are loving, clamoring to the Show Us Your Deck feature. Where's today's deck
just
coming from?
like the emails, they're really mounting up. I have a whole file for Show Us Your Deck.
People are proud of their decks. Hey, it's a beautiful looking deck, and you want to show people.
This is a real nice deck. This is from Eric Burns from Burns Decking, and he's in Huntington, New York.
Isn't that where you're from, Mike?
I'm not from Huntington. I'm from the Boston area, if you didn't know from my speech patterns. But Huntington, New York, that's where I live. A lot of great restaurants, great people. But this
If
deck.
you walk around Main Street, you might see Mike from the Deck Network just grabbing a mojito, you know?
Okay. Now this deck is
Beautiful, beautiful.
The decking itself is Trex Lava Rock, dark color with the blackish streaking on it. Very, very, very beautiful. And he has the TimberTech Black Radiance rail, with which is new for this year is the round black balusters. So you can see
Love
that.
how I worked the landscaping into the whole deal. There's no lattice underneath? No, it's just kind of open underneath
this
there.
deck was an existing deck.
Okay.
And he just stripped it and reskinned it and made it
Left
look
the
beautiful.
framing the
Left
same.
the frame.
Love
and
the,
went around it.
the light post there. Is that, that's a metal railing or what?
It's a steel baluster, round steel baluster.
Wow.
Which is, I mean, Trex has had them for many years, and we've been selling them all for years and years
Beautiful
and years.
yard.
But yeah, this is a great piece of property right there.
What's going on with this this line here that's going down the middle? Tell me about
Okay,
that.
that is, he knew what he was doing. Now, for years, if you have a deck that's longer than 20 feet long, say 30 feet long, what would you get? A 20 and a 10 and stagger it? It gets a little with a lot of the joints all over the place, and some of these products, now the Trex doesn't really move around all that much with the temperature fluctuations, but some of the PVC deckings definitely have a little bit more movement with the temperature. You want to use what we call the feature boards, and this is
Feature board.
The
That's
feature
what that
board
is?
is the line coming down. You run a piece of decking perpendicular, and you run all your decking. So instead of having two deck boards being joined together here, where when it expands and contracts, say if you get two 20-foot pieces of decking, they could move around like this when it's cold. So if you put a feature board in the middle, you're actually cutting that in half. So it just makes it a little bit better. People ask me that oftentimes, and I even have to use that as suggestions when I'm designing decks for people. If we go and look at some of the brochures from the major decking companies, they're all going to have photos in their brochures of decks with feature boards. So it may not be in a installation guide, but it is something that really should be used,
And on those-
especially, this is a 40-foot long
I was
deck.
gonna say on those longer run
Yeah.
decks, this seems like a really good way to get around staggering the boards.
I mean, Scott, I know the owner, he came in here a few times, this is where he picked out all his decking, and he's got a nice property, he's got a pool. This is a little nice picture of the TimberTech Radiance, the black Radiance rails with
In
the
action from
with the
design
black
to
rail
completion. Looks
balusters.
great.
And this is my favorite picture from this whole bunch of pictures here. It's a, it's a profile picture, and we have the rail going down the stairs with these beautiful lampposts. And Eric did a great job.
We'll send them a Deck Network mug
Yep,
for being
we'll get
part
them.
of this thing.
Yep.
Everyone whose deck is featured here on the show, you're gonna get yourself a Deck Network mug. We'll hook you up with one of them. Great looking deck. Another successful addition here, an installment of
Yeah,
Show
yeah.
Us Your Deck.
If you're on Long Island and you need a deck build, Eric would certainly be a good person to use for that.
We should hit the music on the way out. No, Show Us Your Deck is complete without the trumpet. I like that.
So do I. All right, let's get right into the video and let's watch it right now. Hi, today we are at the Nassau County Coliseum in beautiful Uniondale, New York, home of the New York Islanders hockey team, Hofstra University, Roosevelt Field Mall. And today I'm not working at Deck Network. I'm working for No Maintenance Decks. We have a home show in our local area, so let's go in and take a look. Hi, we're at the No Maintenance Decks booth over here today with Steve from Easy Decks. He's our favorite deck builder. And let's take a look at the booth here. There's a lot of people waiting to come through. We have a beautiful pergola here by our good friends at Intex.
Beautiful pergola.
Yep.
Beautiful.
Okay, Sean, come on in. We have our videos going with the Deck Network. Going right here, I have the Deck Network laptop. Matt, he was asked to come today. It was even in the budget for him to stay at a hotel here in beautiful Hempstead, New York. And so right over here, we're designing decks. We have some deck designs there. We have our TimberTech area with some of their new products, their new railing products. They have this beautiful display. We have our decking display. Of course, we have Curved Deck from our good friend Sean from Curve Your Deck, who's actually working the camera right now. Sean, come on in. We have a display over here of Trex steel framing, and if you've been watching the Deck Network, you know I love this stuff. With the price of wood going up as high as it is, it's only about $3 or less per square foot to have your deck straight.
Well worth it.
Well worth the money. Come on in here, Sean. We have Sean's area. We have our curved deck or curved railing over here. This is a Trex curved railing. And we have one of Sean's artworks. This is the most beautiful gate I've ever seen with the arch top on it. And you can't get it done like this. This is a specialty product, and Sean has very soft hands. He's able to do this very, very nicely. Okay, Matt, what did you think of the little home show video?
That was pretty good. It was good to see you on location locally in the New York market. A lot of good stuff you covered. How'd it work out on your end?
Well, we invested $10,000 for the show. We always need to make a return, or at least break even on the show.
Mr. Big doesn't like when there's no return.
Yeah, so we need to take in $200,000 to have that work out for us. So we'll see. I met a lot of great people. They loved the pergola, of course, the curved rails, the
Sean
new
did a
for
great
this year,
job.
the cable rails. We got a lot of new shows coming on about railings, and we have to have them all set up so we can do that. We've had just horrendous weather here in the Northeast. It finally got above 40 degrees for 2 or 3 days straight. So we're going to be working on the displays here at the at No Maintenance Decks, and we'll be showing. We got some great videos
This is
coming up.
deck building seasons right here. You know?
Yeah, it's right here. It seems like it's getting started a little bit slow because of the horrible cold weather.
Speaking of deck builders, Steve in the video seems like a really good customer of.
Well, you know, Steve's a smart guy, and he's a great deck builder, but he's not a customer.
He's not a customer.
No. A customer is somebody who you would sell goods or services once, maybe twice. Steve is a client. He's a client of mine.
Interesting.
And as a client, he is under my care, guidance, and protection. I have a lot of contacts. He has access to all of the Deck Network contacts. I am actively participating in the growth of Steve and other deck builders' business. I've done this forever. I know all the ins and outs. And Steve notices, or he realizes, the power of the Deck Network. People call me and they say, "This guy Steve was great. Should I hire him to do my?" I said, "Of course." Steve gets a bid on jobs that nobody else gets to bid on because they know that he's going to build the deck great. And
He's part of the Deck Network. It's bigger than just that. It's an industry type of thing.
Yes.
You're championing the industry, and he's a part of it. That's great.
Contractors will come into my store and they'll say, "Well, how much is your decking?" And so, of course, we buy so much decking so we can give it at probably the best price. But they'll say, "Oh, I can get it for a penny less here or there." Yes, but those people aren't getting them leads. You saw from the home show, you see from the Deck Network, Matt, he's my radio salesperson. I buy advertising from him. So I have a lot of people coming into the store, calling us, looking for deck builders.
When we're not filming here, it's like Grand Central Station of decking down there. I'm telling you, people are in and out, getting advice, picking up the material they need. And it's more than just getting it for a penny cheaper at the other.
Oh, yes, because, and Steve knows that he's getting not only service, support. I'm there. If he has a problem, one time, a few years ago, Steve called me, and, things have been tight. And so he called me and says that he had faxed a contract to a customer. He went to start the deck, and the customer scratched out $9,000 and put $8,000 on there. And he called me and he said, "Mike, what should I do?" And I said, "Steve, just pack up your stuff and leave." And he said, "Well, I bought the materials from you. It was a special order color." I go, "Steve, don't worry about it. Just tell him you can't do business with like that." He went and told him that, and the gentleman agreed to the price that Steve put forth. And so that's what we do, is we take care of all of our clients. Anything you want to add to today's show?
Well, you did a great job, Mike. I'm telling you, we covered a lot of stuff here, and it was informative. It was insightful towards the end with the Steve stuff. It was really poignant. All right, if there are contractors out there, should they kind of get involved or with the Deck Network?
You're going to make more money by working with the Deck Network than not working with the Deck Network. But I actually have a question. When we did if you watch the Deck Network, and I tell Matt, "Oh, I'm in Las Vegas, and I'm in Chicago, and
everywhere,
in Baltimore, and
these exotic
in Florida,"
locales,
and you see
anywhere.
his eyes are rolling, and he's saying, "Well, I don't get to." He had an opportunity to go to this show. It was in very far
Hempstead.
away, but we were at Hempstead, New York, right where this is where I was parking the Deck Network vehicle. Right in front of
the Deck Network work vehicle. It's a Range Rover, guys.
It gets me around. So I was parked right in front of the Cradle of Aviation Museum. Now, what's interesting about that is this is the site that Charles Lindbergh took off on his historic voyage to France, and that pretty much changed transportation forever. I mean, when you really think about that, he left Roosevelt Field, Long Island, flying over the ocean with a few sandwiches and as much fuel as he could put on that plane, and
Takes cojones.
it certainly does. I mean, people say that I'm a risk taker, but
I was going to say, you are, in a sense, the Charles Lindbergh of the decking industry.
Maybe so,
Flying
but-
over the uncharted waters
but-
and backyards across the
but,
continental
I
United
don't
States.
think that anything that
Leaving
I do,
a trail of decking for many people to enjoy in their backyard summertime routines,
I
like
don't
you
do
are.
anything that can compare to what Charles Lindbergh did. But let's wrap it up on a good note. Charles Lindbergh, great American, and
Mike from the Deck Network, not a bad American himself. Co-host here, doing the best I can. Emails, send the emails to us. Come on, keep them coming.
Yeah, keep it coming.
Mike at the Deck Network, Matt at the Deck Network,
as we always say, have a great day.
and ciao for now.
Bye.
Bye. Bye-bye.